Hi guys, so today is Friday, April 3rd. So this is the end of the week and today the market is closed for gold. But I'm gonna wrap up the week for all the things that happened during the last 5 days, 5 trading days. So in general, for the monthly chart, we can see that gold is still in a very bullish trend. Started since October or September 2022. And as we can see here, that the bullish trend in the long term is still intact. As you can see the line here. So you can see that the line here is pretty much intact and it is pretty steep. So we can know that the structure for the monthly chart is still pretty much in a bullish trend. So that is a pretty very long-term trend that lasts for many years. But if we look at the weekly chart, we are seeing that over the last 2 weeks, the weekly chart has flipped from the bullish trend to bearish. And as is entering the monthly support zone around here, 4100, it gets a very strong recovery rally here. However, there's two major resistance for this trend to continue to go up, or at least we have a meaningful recovery rally. That is the 4850 level, and more importantly, the 5000 level. So that is a pretty meaningful level, and we already see, from the recovery rally is happening. It was happened pretty fast, as we can see in the daily chart. It is happened pretty fast, that we don't see any pullback to test the low level again. And since on Thursday, April 2nd, we got a pullback from 4800 level after Trump made his speech on the prime time in the 9 p.m. Eastern time. That disappointed everyone. So this is my analysis. My bias is that since this recovery rally is based on the premise that a lot of Trump tweets about the negotiation or Iran asking for ceasefire, or Trump is going to wrap up the military operation within a few weeks. I think that's all nonsense, because the war will be determined by three parties, three players, not just the US, but also Iran, Israel, and we have all three players. And even if, Trump saying that we're gonna keep it that way, we're gonna declare victory, and then we're gonna go home, and the Strait of Hormuz will open naturally, Iran will continue to close the strait, and Israel might not stop bombing Iran. So that's the case. And yesterday we have a pullback because the market increasingly being risk off based on the fundamental that traders worry the war will intensify in the coming weeks based on Trump's speech. And it's only having some relief because Iran and Oman had a draft to monitor the Strait of Hormuz traffic. So, but the point I want to make is that my bias is based on the fundamental that the war is very likely to intensify in the coming days or weeks. And the recovery rally is pretty fast, and it needs to flush out some weak hands in the important 4,300 levels. So my bias is that I'm placing the odds is more favorable for gold to pull back more until at least around 4,300 level than to going up from here. Based on the chart analysis, but also from the fundamentals that the war is going to intensify, and gold is now being traded as a risk-on asset, not as usual as the risk-off asset, like a safe haven asset, like we usually see during war, because traders are being worried about central bank would raise interest rate to combat inflation resulted from the oil price being very high recently. Right now, we can see that the future oil is $112. So we're gonna see what happened in the coming days if Trump decided to de-escalate, or all of his tweets just a cover-up of a ground operation, because we can see the troop movement, as we can see on the news that 1,000 more US troops are heading to the Middle East. And also we see that another aircraft carrier, USS George H.W. Bush, is being deployed on Tuesday. So all of the movement of the troops and military hardware equipments like this, they have to have a plan. They don't just like haphazardly sending soldiers and aircrafts and military equipments without a plan. They already have a plan. That's my point. So a lot of traders are very optimistic about maybe this is a short conflict, a short war, and then the Strait of Hormuz will likely to be open very pretty soon. But in my humble opinion, that would not likely to happen. Instead, what's likely to happen is that Iran would keep the Strait of Hormuz closed and to impose a toll fee or a transit fee for ships coming through. And the US will try everything it can to avoid an obvious defeat from this situation. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you on Monday. Right now, I'm gonna start uploading another session on Monday to start the week, because I think it is important to have an overview of the direction of gold and the overall analysis from both technical and fundamental for gold to start the week. So I'm going to start uploading my analysis for gold on Monday and then close the week on Friday. So I'm going to have 2 videos per week starting next week. All right, guys, see you in the next session.